Hello enlightened viewers! On this edition of Golden Age Technology, we'd like to introduce a practical home-based water treatment system called the Biosand Water Filter, which can help people in developing countries obtain clean water through a simple treatment process. According to statistics, more than 1 billion people around the world have difficulty finding clean water. On average, 3 children lose their lives every minute due to diseases caused by drinking and using impure water. To address this issue, in the 1990s, Dr. David Manns invented the Biosand Water Filter. It is a low-cost water cleaning system. Dr. Manns is an engineering consultant. He is a former professor in the Environmental and Water Resources Engineering Department at the University of Calgary in Alberta, Canada. The Biosand filter uses no electricity and can be installed and maintained by users with an hour's training. Most models can produce 20 to 60 liters of water per hour. With the help of caring individuals and non-profit organizations, over 1 million people around the world now benefit from Dr. Manns' invention. A Supreme Master Television correspondent recently met with Dr. Manns and Mr. John Clayton, Project Director for the Christian Relief and Evangelism organization Samaritan's Purse. Samaritan's Purse has been promoting the Biosand water filter around the world for the past 10 years. On today's program, our guests will share their knowledge about this amazing system.
The technology was invented really as a result of experiences in international development in the late 80s in South Africa and then again in southern Philippines. You found situations where people had access to bad water and there was no hope that they were ever going to have access to safe water. So it wasn't a shortage of water, it was a shortage of safe water.
Given the difficulties of setting up a community-wide water filtration system in these developing areas, Dr. Manns thought that filtering water at a household level was the more practical way to approaching a clean water supply. Fortunately, he met a professor in environmental engineering who had expertise in water treatment who helped him in formulating a solution.
So he knew something about water treatment, and so it was basically putting whatever inklings or nuggets of information that I had together with this need for a effective household treatment system, and then gradually developing it into a technology that organizations such as the Samaritan's Purse could take confidently into the field and disseminate to others. So that took a long time.
So was it 10 years ago?
Oh, more than that. The first ideas were coming around 1990 or so. Yeah, and really the first time we actually tested it, the first prototype, which just looked like a garbage can, was around 1991. And then the first time we actually had an opportunity to take it into the field, and that was in Nicaragua in about maybe 1993. And then concrete filters maybe a year or so after that. And then there was various hiatuses and other issues, but all that was solved. So it goes back a long way.
I wonder if you'd be kind enough to show us the construction of this Biosand filter. And again, this, what looks like a little box, this extraordinary little box is saving the lives of millions of people around the world because it is giving them good, clean, safe water. And it seems like such a simple system, am I right?
It is a simple system, and it has to be a simple system, too. It's about 1 meter or so high. And basically this is made out of concrete, this particular one. And inside this vessel, to about maybe there, it is filled with mostly sand and some gravel bits on the bottom. And then in the front wall here, there's actually a plastic pipe that connects to the inside of the box, the bottom, goes up the wall into what we call this the nose. And it comes over, then down, and then out here. So What we do is basically, when this thing is used, you lift the lid and you pour the water in to the filter. I mean, there is some technology here, you know, something to break the impact of the water when it's added, and it goes through the sand and up the pipe, in and out. But when the magic really is that when you take water that has living organisms in it, they're all stopped right on the surface of the sand, okay? Especially things like parasites and anything larger and all the debris and that's in, you know, these water supplies. And so right from day one, this filter is taking out, you know, all the parasites, all the worms, and up to 60% or so of the bacteria and viruses. And then with time, you develop what is called a biolayer. The upper layer of the sand particles improves the ability of the filter to remove bacteria to up around maybe, well, it would be 90 up to even as high as 99% removal. And what it does is it reduces the concentration of infectious organisms in the water, even bacteria. That's how this thing works. And then when the other part of it is, and is very important, eventually the surface of the filter clogs up, you know, and you know, with the stuff that you're filtering out. So what we do is we add a bit of the unfiltered water to the top, just the ordinary raw water. You pull out that, we call it a diffuser basin, and then you just agitate the surface of the top of the sand with your hands, and you just use a cup and you spoon that out. When you've got all that water out, of course, you've taken out all the material that has plugged the filter. And then you just make sure it's all smooth again. And you put the diffuser back in, and that thing is back in business, and with the same performance level as it ever had. And so there are no costs for materials or more sand or anything. So basically, once that thing is set up and operating, it just takes an hour or so of training. That is good to go for decades, really.
We'll be back with more on this incredible invention. You're watching Golden Age Technology on Supreme Master Television.